What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. I know y'all got the fro today, man. I got the fro today. Haven't done one of these videos in a while, and I think it's a nice refreshment to be able to do these type of videos again. Today's topic is going to be how a negative mind cannot provide a positive life. And I feel like I suffer a lot from that because when it comes to things like being lonely or finding another job or trying to be a better friend, trying to make more friends. It's so easy to view the struggles in life as bad things, when in reality, you can look at them from a perspective of things that maybe God's trying to teach you, right? I feel like struggle is necessary. It's so crazy because we're all working towards having a more comfortable life, but struggling in the process of doing that is what's going to teach us the most valuable things that I feel like we have to learn. A great example of this is okay, loneliness, right? I live by myself, and I have experienced a lot of loneliness despite me having a great and loving family. I feel like a lot of the times it's just me by myself. My life is, I feel like everybody's life is always up to them. But when it comes to making friends in a new city, or not in a new city, but in a city that I've, been in for a while, I still find myself struggling to connect with more people on a deeper level. Like I know a lot of people, but not to the point of, you know, where I can hit them up any time and we can have a deep conversation. And so in order to do that, I struggle with making friends. If I go through the struggle of making friends and I embrace that struggle rather than shy away from it, I eventually, I hope, you feel me, I'll make more friends. I can go out and, look at events that I can go to, whether it be at a park or a run club, or I don't like going to run clubs, but you see what I mean? Like just if I take initiative to actually go out and make friends and I do so in the process, what I learned from that process wouldn't be there if I didn't struggle in the first place. So a lot of times it's so easy to get caught up in our own struggles because we need fast results. Like if you don't have a job and you need to pay your bills, obviously that's what you're gonna be focused on. You'll be focused on the fact that you don't have any money and you need a job. So it's like this whole cycle of just negative energy and acting out of survival mode and desperation rather than what you can learn and having a positive outlook on your situation. And so that's where I think it's just important to take a step back. If you have a journal, write down what you're feeling, what you're thinking, how you're feeling. I know I just said that, but what can you do to improve your situation while also learning how to not fall back into that situation? I remember in college, I had like two jobs. I was working two jobs and full-time student, and it was the most stressed out I've been in my entire life. And so whenever I graduated, I was like, okay, there's no way I'm not gonna ever put myself in a situation to where I have to work two jobs. But then life happens and you figure out, oh damn, like the extra money could be nice. And so when you find yourself back in that situation where you're not working out of, learning, but working out of desperation, it's like, dang, I find myself back in the situation again. What is God teaching me, or what are my circumstances teaching me to where I should not fall back into that same situation that you don't want to be in? And that is where you can really gamify life, right? Like I've learned, I saw a video the other day about how the most successful people don't really take anything so seriously to where they feel that every situation is life or death. They can approach the most serious situations and almost be careless about it because once you put your best foot forward in every situation you do, the results almost aren't up to you, to where, or rather you can live with whatever result happens, right? If you know you did your best in anything you did, you can live with the results. I think that it's just so important to, just know yourself, man. And that kind of circles back to like the whole loneliness route. You feel me? Like, yeah, being lonely and needing to make friends is a struggle in itself, but all that time you spend by yourself, you can really figure out who you are and figure out the person you want to be and then make steps towards that person you want to be. And so I think it just all depends on your perspective, man. A negative mind cannot provide a positive life. And so I think it's just important to, figure out how to think more positively. No matter what your situation is, it can always be worse. And I truly think I am a prime example of that. And if you're first gen and your parents came from a different country, situations could always be worse. But at the same time, situations could always be better, and you can always continue to work towards better. But there's also like a fine balance between working towards becoming that better person and also recognizing that things can be worse. So, uh, yeah, man, I just wanted to yap again. Um, I really think I'm making progress towards becoming a better, stronger, kind person, and I will never regret being kindful. Or being kindful is kindful a word? I will never regret being kind. Um, which is also leads me to my next point. A story just popped in my head that just happened a couple of days ago. A friend of a friend needed to borrow one of my lenses for a photo shoot that he was doing, and I like immediately said yes. Mind you, I don't know who this person is. I know my friend, but I don't know the friend of a friend. You feel me? I agreed to the whole situation before I even had the dude's number saved in my phone. And I was thinking like, damn, like I am proud of myself for being able to help somebody who, like, you feel me, needed, because it seemed like it was like a last minute project and he wanted to get, the best gear or whatever, or the gear that would work for him. I was like, yeah, of course, like, why not, right? I feel like if you're able to help somebody, then you should. You feel me? But at the same time, I was thinking like, dang, I was so easy to help this person. But a lot of times when it comes to helping myself or, doing things that are going to benefit me, you feel me? I struggle with that. Like I'm a little bit more hesitant. It's like when you're so easy to spend money on your friends for their birthday, but when it comes to your birthday, it's like, I don't really know. I don't really want to go through that inconvenience of putting effort in towards myself, but it's so much easier to do it for other people. And I was like, dang, bro, like that really provided a moment of self-reflection for me, because I'm always going to do things for other people, but now it's time to point that attitude towards myself. And so it was just definitely a great learning moment. I'm glad it really happened, bro, because it didn't it exposed the great, and it exposed a great moment for me, but it also exposed a lack of what do you call it? A lack of attention towards myself that I need to put, like the energy I need to put towards myself needs to increase. You feel me? And again, maybe the time I spend feeling lonely, that is where I can spend all that energy towards. So I feel like, yeah, like I said before, I feel like I'm learning and growing. I'm at the age where so much is different between my peers, bro. And I feel like, some people like around my age, people getting married, having kids, while also people getting their MBAs, people doing, random shit, traveling, and people working, so it's like I'm at the age where, like, okay, everybody doing different shit. You don't really need to be anywhere for real. You just need to be yourself, and you need to be confident with who you are as a person. And that's where I'm growing, man. I feel like I'm learning and becoming more confident as a person. Like I'm really that nigga for real, you feel me? But like it's sometimes you forget, bro. Sometimes you forget you are that nigga, and sometimes you just need a reminder. So I hope this video can serve as a reminder for y'all. If you ever question who the fuck you are, know that you are that nigga. If you're not black, know that you are him. Know that you are her. Know that you can do anything you fucking want to. This life, you can gamify this life, bro. And then nothing's that deep. Things are that deep, but like, I don't fucking know. Y'all know what I mean, bro. Just do what the fuck you want to do in this life, man. It's 12:40 a.m. February 4th, 2026. I got this Michael Jackson fro that I just moisturized, and now it's dry again. I got that low porosity low porosity hair, and I'm just getting my thoughts out in the world at this specific time that's never gonna pass by again, bro. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I feel like I've been yapping too much. And I hope you guys have been drinking your water, taking care of yourselves. I've been taking care of myself, but I can definitely do better. And that starts with sleep. I'm not gonna lie, my sleep schedule's been crazy. But you know, it is what it is. It's when something's lacking, that's an opportunity to fix it, bro. And you gotta take advantage of it. I've been doing my best, bro. You feel me? And I can do even better. So we're gonna continue to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I catch y'all boys later. Peace.